So I bought this book off Amazon written by one of my high school classmates, author TJ Spirit. What's this book about? When's the next one? How do I feel about it? Let's get into it. Warning, spoilers on Lewis and the Demon Emerald Part 1, Soul Stealer. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more book reviews. First, let's summarize the story. We start the story with what seems to be the main antagonist, Death Soul, soloing an army, according to him, made up of the entire planet's population, with an attack called Skull Explosion. He then tells his underling, Larek Zombie, to find something for him, and states that he will be unstoppable once he collects all the green soul energies. We see two brothers, Trevor and Silver Stone. Trevor steals food for him and Silver to survive. The brothers hear an explosion, which they investigate. They are approached by a demon, but are saved by Lewis Lizard. Lewis introduces himself as Trevor's spirit guide and explains to them that everyone has a spirit guide, but most people never unlock them, and that if the human dies, that the spirit guide dies as well. Lewis also mentions that Trevor should have unlocked spiritual abilities, but it doesn't seem to be the case when Trevor tries. We are introduced to Trace Sevenstar, who isn't too far from Trevor and his brother. She uses her already honed abilities to defeat a group of demons, and we are also introduced to her spirit guide, Alice Soulcat. Trace is then attacked by Larek Zombie, but deflects the attack. Silver notices the fight and Lewis jumps in to help. Lewis is aided by Alice Soulcat, who already knows his name and mentions that she will say more about that later. Larek Zombie mentions that he has heard a little about Trace's past and that she survived something called Nightmare Curse, an attack from Death Soul's brother. Larek Zombie then curses Trevor's brother Silver and states that he has 72 hours so he is turned into a full-fledged zombie. The group is then saved by Fender, the most powerful soul dragon, who tells them that they can find a cure for Silver in Crystal City, the home of soul dragons and their spirit guides, and opens a portal there for them. The group arrives in Crystal City where they meet Princess Lily Mantis, who is the spirit guardian for soul dragons of her kingdom. She explains to them that Silver's curse can only be broken by mastery of certain spiritual abilities. Princess Lily adds that the planes they are on is where souls go after their many reincarnation cycles and start the spirit guide test. She goes on to say that most gods remember this place, but Lewis has lost his memories due to an incident with the Soul Stealer. And lastly, she tells the group that Larek Zombie is a member of an immortal demigod organization called the Order of the Demon Skulls, who have gained power by cursing and stealing souls to feed off their fear and suffering. Trace then reveals that Death Soul's brother possessed her, causing her to slaughter everyone she loved. When she was able to finally push him from her mind, he put a curse on her with an effect that she was still unaware of. Alice alludes to Trace that she is romantically interested in Lewis. We see Queen Soul Mantis, who summons Princess Lily Mantis to tell her that Demon Skull is plotting to break into Crystal City. We see Larek Zombie's backstory, where he's about to be executed for assassinating several beings across the universe, but is saved by Death Soul, who gives him immortality and turns him into a demigod in exchange for him joining the Demon Skull organization. Back to the present, Princess Lily is using the healing spell to cure Silver of his curse. Lily is surprised to hear Trevor has still not gained any spiritual abilities. Suddenly, Crystal City is attacked and Lily tells them to flee, which Trevor refuses. Lily transports them to another plane. Lewis begins teaching Trevor how to use his abilities. Queen Soul Mantis sacrifices herself to hold off Death Soul so that Princess Lily can escape. Lewis reveals that he has regained his memories from the healing spell back in Crystal City. Larek Zombie appears before them and sends zombies and soul stealers after them. Trace solos the army of over 1 million while Alice protects Silver Stone. Back on Crystal City, Queen Soul Mantis is fighting Death Soul and uses an attack that kills angels and demigods. Death Soul tanks this attack, mentioning that he has surpassed that level and defeats Queen Soul Mantis. Lewis and Larek Zombie are still fighting. Larek reveals from his backstory he was saving the people from a tyrannical king that was slaying innocent people, and they sided with the king and tried to put him to death, and he was saved by Death Soul. Him and Lewis briefly debate on if human lives are worth saving. Larek Zombie is about to defeat Lewis, but Trevor unlocks his spiritual abilities and saves Lewis, but is fatally wounded by Larek Zombie. Trevor and Lewis fuse. The new fusion of Lewis and Trevor easily defeats Larek Zombie. Death Soul celebrates the defeat of Queen Mantis and the imprisonment of Princess Lily, and claims victory is in his reach. To be continued. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I really like the story and the foundations being set up. As a JoJo fan, I like the spiritual aspects as well as the spirit guides themselves. Gives me that Stan, Persona, etc. feeling. I like the uniqueness of the names and designs of the character, and as a One Piece and Hunter x Hunter fan, the world building in this series looks interesting, with Part 1 introducing us to Crystal City, home of the Soul Dragons. As a One Piece fan, I love the fact that Larek Zombie has a sympathetic backstory. Killing off Trevor in Part 1 was a bold and daring move in my opinion on the author's part, but I'm sure it wasn't done whimsically, and that there's plenty more story to unfold. I don't really have any criticisms for this book, but if I had to force one in the interest of giving a truthful and fair review, I would slightly criticize the illustrations, which are still better than what I would have done. Having read Hunter x Hunter, I'm used to a top-tier story with less than top-tier illustrations. Not to mention, the author of One Punch Man had to get an illustrator named Murata to, kind of get his stuff looking better and more readable. Yeah, so I like this book. According to the author, the next one's coming soon. We don't have a date yet, but it is coming soon. Definitely follow him. I dropped the links in the description. Follow TJ Spirit, follow Dreams Awaken, follow Django Joestar. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more book reviews.